Welcome to the new episode of PhysioTV. I am Dr. Sakshi Ahuja, resident of Sancheti Institute for Orthopaedic and Rehabilitation College of Physiotherapy. Today we have Dr. Vaibhavi Walimbe ma'am. She is a PhD scholar. She has accumulated 6 years of extensive experience in both academic and clinical setting in Department of Physiotherapy.
I am Dr. Vaibhavi Walimbe. I am currently working as an associate professor at MGM School of Physiotherapy, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. I would like to thank Team Physio TV and Sancheti Institute of Orthopaedics and Rehabilitation College of Physiotherapy for this opportunity. Today's topic is open and closed kinematic chain. The learning objectives for today's session: first, define open and closed kinematic chains to be able to differentiate between the biomechanics of these respective chains, identify certain daily life examples depicting the particular chains, and apply the concepts of open and closed kinematic chain in rehabilitation. So before we dig into the actual concepts, first we have to understand that why do we need to learn about the open and closed chains which are present in our body, the kinematic chains. First of all, the functional movements. For example, any of our daily life activity, may it be walking, may it be stair climbing, may it be sitting, they are not the random activities. They are coordinated actions of the kinematic chains. Second thing is, during the exercise prescription, we are not merely asking the patients to move, we are also telling the patients how to move. And the rehabilitation decisions or the prescriptions of the exercises that we are making, those decisions, they can either stress a particular joint or they can either relax a particular joint. So in order to prescribe correct exercises and in order to make the correct clinical decisions about movement patterns and about exercises, the clinician must have the knowledge of the kinematic chains. That is why this concept is very important clinically, and it is also very important to have a better prognosis in most of the musculoskeletal conditions. So before actually starting with open and closed kinematic chains, these two terms, kinetics and kinematics, sometimes they are being used interchangeably, but actually they have different meanings. Kinematic is the study of movement, and kinetic is basically the study of forces which are producing those movements. So kinematics is nothing but the motions that you are able to see with your eyes, the motions of your joint segments, whereas kinetics is the forces which you can't see, but these forces are responsible for producing the motions at different joint segments. So let's just first understand what the kinematic chain means. The human body is not made up of isolated joints, or it is not made in parts. It is made in a way where all these parts or segments or joints are interconnected. So that is why it is called as a kinematic chain. So any movement at one joint is ultimately going to influence the movement at the other joints. Like a chain, if a link in a chain is moving, the other links will follow. So that is how, if one joint in the body is moving, the other joints or the other segments will follow. So this is what is called as a kinematic chain. Based on how this chain is behaving, we can either classify it as open chain or we can classify it as closed chain. Let's just now see what are the open kinematic chain movements. Basically, these are the movements where the distal part of the segment is free to move in space. These are the movements that occur typically at single joint, and they are most of the times limited to single plane. Also, these movements are having isolated muscle activity. That means fewer muscles are involved in these movements. Most of the times these movements are non-weight bearing movements. That is why they are less stable as compared to functional activities, and also there is lesser joint compression. These movements are best choices, or these exercises are best choices for the early phases of rehabilitation, where we want to target specific muscles. The examples of these movements in day-to-day life are kicking a ball, waving at someone, knee extensions in high sitting, and maybe SLR as well, straight leg raise as well. These are the typical examples of open kinematic chain. Now let's understand about the closed kinematic chain. Here the distal segment is in contact with either the ground or the supporting surface. So unlike the open chain, the distal segment is fixed. As the distal segment is fixed, the movement becomes a multi-joint movement. That means movement at one particular joint will cause certain movements at the other joints. Also, there are greater compressive forces, and since the movement is multi-joint movement, obviously there are more muscles involved. That is why these movements are comparatively more stable as compared to the open kinematic chains. These are usually resembling to the functional activities. For example, a squat. So, squat is a very typical example of a closed kinematic chain movement. Along with that, the push-ups, the planks are also the examples of the closed kinematic chains. Usually, these exercises or these movements are prescribed in order to improve stability, control, and joint proprioception. Now that we have understood the open and closed kinematic chains separately, for the better understanding, let's just compare them side by side. Now let's just compare these two side by side, open and closed kinematic chains. In terms of distal segments, in the open kinematic chains, distal segments are free to move in space, whereas in CKC they are fixed. The movements that are happening at open kinematic chain are limited to usually one single joint, whereas in closed kinematic chain the movements are happening at multiple joints, and these movements usually resemble the functional activities. In terms of stability, open kinematic chain are less stable, whereas the closed kinematic chains are more stable. Now just to put it in like two lines, I can say that open kinematic chain allows for movement, whereas closed kinematic chain provides stability and control. Now there are certain functional differences as well between these two chains. If we consider the muscle activity, open kinematic chains are involving lesser muscles or fewer muscles, so isolated muscle activity, whereas closed kinematic chains are involving co-contraction of multiple muscles. Usually open kinematic chains are non-weight bearing activities and closed kinematic chains are weight bearing activities. Typically, open kinematic chain exercises are used for strengthening of the targeted muscles, whereas the closed kinematic chains are more preferably used in terms of functional training. In this slide, I have added some typical clinical conditions along with the preferences for open or closed kinematic chain exercises along with their reasoning. So anterior cruciate ligament post-operative rehabilitation, usually closed kinematic chain exercises are preferred in order to decrease the shear stresses or shear forces. In osteoarthritis knee, closed kinematic chain exercises are preferred to increase the stability at the joint. In typical cases of the muscle weakness, open kinematic chain exercises are preferred because we know that we can have targeted muscle activity, that means isolated muscle activity with these exercises. In the stroke rehabilitation, closed kinematic chain exercises are preferred because they provide better proprioception and induce better control at the joints. Now this is an interesting slide. Look closely and what do we notice in these two photographs? So first of all, if we see the first photo where a person is attempting to throw a ball, the hand is fixed or free, so it's obviously free to move in space. So that is a typical example of the open kinematic chain. Coming to the second image, now there are two extremities. First, we have to observe the extremity which is about to kick a ball. So that stands for an example of the open kinematic chain. But if we carefully look, there is another extremity which is supporting the body and it is in contact with the ground. So where do we put this activity, or where do we put this functional activity? In either open or in closed? So the answer for this is basically our body makes a beautiful combination of open and closed kinematic chains in order to complete different functional activities. So out of our functional activities, it's very rare that a particular activity will literally fall into only one category. Most of the times it is a combination of open and closed kinematic chains. So here I have added basically some recent literatures. The first one is a systematic review and meta-analysis. That review is recommending that the closed kinematic chain exercises in for the knee osteoarthritis are preferred or are recommended in order to improve the pain status and function status of the patient. However, the review also says that there is a paucity of the information which is actually outlining the comparison between the closed kinematic chains and open kinematic chains in the knee osteoarthritis. Another study that I have mentioned over here is recommending that the closed kinematic chain exercises related to hip joint or focused on hip joint are much more effective than open kinematic chain exercises in order to improve the postural stability and dynamic balance in middle-aged women with the knee osteoarthritis. This is a randomized control trial. So the take-home message from today's session: no movement in the human body is random. Open kinematic chain movements or exercises are concerned with isolated muscle activity and control. Closed kinematic chain exercises or movements are concerned with stability and function. The type of kinematic chain will definitely influence the loading of the joint, and the right choice of the kinematic chain will obviously lead to better rehabilitation and better treatment outcomes. These are the references that include both a textbook and certain recent literatures. Thank you so much once again to OrthoTV and Sancheti Institute of Orthopaedics and Rehabilitation College of Physiotherapy for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.